Hello, Tigers! In today's video, we'll explore heroes from comic book universes who surprisingly committed terrible crimes. Even the most noble and courageous characters have their flaws and moments of darkness. We'll see how these heroes, usually dedicated to protecting and saving, sometimes cross the line, questioning the boundaries between good and evil. Don't forget to leave a like on today's video to reach your divine level powers and subscribe to our channel. Let's go to the video. Batman. In the alternate universe of Injustice Gods Among Us, the story begins with a horrific tragedy. The Joker tricks Superman into killing his pregnant wife, Lois Lane, and detonating a nuclear bomb that destroys Metropolis. Devastated and consumed by rage, Superman decides that the only way to prevent such tragedies from happening again is to assume absolute control of the world. He establishes an authoritarian regime where he and other superheroes rule with an iron fist. Batman, traditionally a defender of justice and law, finds himself in a position of resistance. Determined to overthrow Superman's tyranny, Batman leads an insurgency. However, in his fight against Superman's oppressive regime, Batman resorts to extreme and violent methods that often exceed the bounds of morality. One of Batman's most controversial actions in this universe is his decision to use a pill that grants temporary superpowers to his human allies, allowing them to confront the overwhelming power of Superman and his superpowered allies. While this action is a survival tactic, it also raises ethical questions about manipulating individuals and the dangers of empowering ordinary humans with such power. Additionally, Batman engages in various covert operations and surprise attacks against Superman's forces, often resulting in deaths and destruction. His determination to overthrow the oppressive regime leads to unlikely alliances with villains and morally questionable decisions that contrast with his traditional principles of non-lethal methods and acting within the law. Superman undergoes a dramatic transformation after the tragedy that costs Lois Lane's life and destroys Metropolis. Consumed by grief and anger, he blames humanity for his loss and decides he must act decisively to prevent such tragedies from occurring again. This mindset shift leads him to adopt extreme measures and become an authoritarian leader. Superman decides that the only way to protect the world is to assume absolute control over it. He establishes a regime where he and other superheroes enforce peace through force, eliminating any form of opposition severely and immediately. He justifies his actions as necessary to end crime and ensure global security, but many see his measures as oppressive and totalitarian. Among Superman's most controversial acts is the killing of the Joker in retaliation for the villain's role in Lois Lane's death. This marks a departure from his previous moral code and commitment to justice through the legal system. Superman begins to enforce his vision of justice relentlessly, using his powers to punish criminals and eliminate any resistance to his regime. Additionally, Superman uses his influence to coerce other superheroes into joining him, often without giving them a real choice. He views his actions as protective, but this creates deep divisions among the heroes and sparks conflicts that further inflame the already tense situation. Wolverine. Since his first appearance in comics, Wolverine has been portrayed as an anti-hero. Before joining the X-Men, he was a trained and highly effective assassin. His past is filled with violent missions and deaths he caused, often under government or secret organization orders. One of Wolverine's darkest aspects is his propensity for extreme violence when provoked or when his emotions are heightened. He possesses retractable adamantium claws, which are lethal weapons, and doesn't hesitate to use them against his enemies. Over the years, he has accumulated a high body count, including enemies and even allies on certain occasions. In addition to his activities as an assassin and mercenary, Wolverine has faced moments where he lost control of himself. His feral nature and constant struggle to control his more animalistic side have put him in situations where he committed acts of extreme violence, often without full awareness of his actions until afterward. Jean Grey. Jean Grey began as a telepathic and telekinetic mutant, a member of the X-Men. Her connection with the Phoenix began when she was exposed to cosmic solar radiation during a space mission. This energy vastly amplified her powers, transforming her into the cosmic entity known as the Phoenix. As Phoenix, Jean Grey experienced a significant increase in her powers, becoming one of the most powerful entities in the Marvel Universe. However, her story takes a dark turn when she loses control over her powers and becomes the Dark Phoenix. Under the influence of the Dark Phoenix entity, Jean Grey becomes a destructive force, unable to control her impulses and desires. The most controversial point in Jean Grey's history as the Dark Phoenix was her transformation into a being of limitless power, culminating in the destruction of an entire star system, including the inhabited planet of the Dabari. This resulted in the deaths of billions of living beings, an act of cosmic genocide that put her at odds with the X-Men and the universe as a whole. Although Jean Grey was eventually rescued from the influence of the Dark Phoenix and returned to human human form. This event had lasting repercussions on her life and on how other characters perceived her. Jean Grey's story as the Dark Phoenix remains one of the most impactful and complex arcs in X-Men mythology, exploring themes of power, responsibility, and the limits of morality in the context of superpowers. Punisher. The Punisher, or Frank Castle, is a Marvel anti-hero known for his brutal and relentless approach to fighting crime. His story begins with a personal tragedy, the murder of his wife and children by criminals during a shootout. This traumatic event transforms Castle from a respected war veteran into a vigilante determined to punish those responsible and any criminals who cross his path. What sets the Punisher apart from other heroes is his extremely violent and merciless approach. He not only kills criminals, but does so efficiently and without hesitation. Castle believes that the only way to end crime is by eliminating criminals without giving them a chance at redemption or trial. Throughout his comic book stories, the Punisher is depicted as a vigilante who operates outside the law and often comes into conflict with other superheroes who have stricter principles against killing. He uses a wide range of weapons and combat tactics, often employing violent interrogation methods to extract information from his targets. Hulk. Throughout his various incarnations in the comics, Hulk frequently loses control of his emotions and Hulk form, resulting in moments of devastating destruction. He is known for causing massive property damage and even endangering lives, especially when facing threats or situations that provoke his anger. One of the most notorious events in Hulk's history is World War Hulk, where he returns to Earth after being exiled in space. Driven by a desire for vengeance against the Illuminati, a group of superheroes who sent him into space to protect Earth, Hulk unleashes a war against Earth's heroes. During this period, he faces and defeats several heroes, causing large-scale destruction in New York City. In addition to his tendency for destruction during anger crises, Hulk has also faced stories where his actions directly resulted in people's deaths. On some occasions, he fought against villains or powerful beings who, if not for his intervention, would have caused even more harm. However, the line between saving the day and being a threat due to his unpredictability is often thin. Scarlet Witch. Wanda Maximoff, also known as Scarlet Witch, is a powerful mutant in the Marvel Universe, whose story is marked by dramatic events and devastating consequences due to her control over chaos and reality. Her powers of probability manipulation and magic are so vast that she can alter reality on a cosmic scale, often without full control over her actions or the consequences of her desires. One of the most significant moments in Scarlet Witch's history was during the House of M saga. After an emotional breakdown due to the loss of her children, who were revealed to be creations of her own distorted reality, Wanda alters reality to create a world where mutants are the majority and humans are the minority. In this new world, many Marvel heroes and villains have their lives and desires altered to fit the new reality created by Wanda. However, Wanda's desire for a normal and happy life eventually turns into a nightmare for the Marvel Universe, as the new reality begins to unravel. When the true nature of the events is revealed, Earth's heroes are forced to confront Wanda, resulting in an epic battle to restore the original reality and deal with the devastating consequences of her actions. In addition to House of M, Scarlet Witch has also been responsible for events such as Decimation, where she uttered the phrase, "No more mutants," resulting in the loss of powers for nearly all mutants on Earth. This act had a profound impact on the mutant community and power dynamics within the Marvel Universe, demonstrating the destructive potential of her powers when uncontrolled or used in an emotionally unstable state. SpiderMan. One of the most notable moments in Spider-Man's history was during the Secret Wars saga, where he received the Black symbiote suit, which later proved to be the Venom symbiote. The suit enhanced his powers and abilities, but also began to influence his personality and behavior in negative ways, making him more aggressive and vengeful. Eventually, Peter realized the corrupting nature of the symbiote and separated from it, but this left a mark on his life and his struggle against evil. Another significant event was during the Superior Spider-Man saga, where Dr. Octopus, Otto Octavius, switched minds with Peter Parker, taking control of Spider-Man's body. While Octavius tried to be a superior Spider-Man, using his own methods and philosophies, he also committed questionable acts that were more extreme than what Peter would normally do, challenging the ethical boundaries of what it means to be a hero. In addition to these specific events, Peter Parker constantly faces the dilemma of balancing his personal life with his responsibilities as a hero. He has faced significant personal losses, such as the death of his Uncle Ben, and difficult moral dilemmas, such as choosing between saving loved ones or protecting the city. His journey as Spider-Man is a continuous exploration of themes such as power, responsibility, and the sacrifices necessary to be a true hero. I hope you enjoyed the video and comment on what else you'd like to see here on the channel.